Hey y'all, okay, so I'll be reading some scary stories for y'all. Title is I Sat on the Bus. I sat on the bus on my way to school, listening to music and paying little to no attention to the other students. At one of the stops, my mind snapped back to reality. I looked towards the small house, Tommy's house, I thought. A hand slipped through the drapes of the window and waved the bus to move on. He's sick, I thought, paying no large amount of attention to the situation. The day flew by. I watched the local news channel after school, and what I heard paralyzed me. Tommy's entire family was murdered that day by an unknown suspect. Oof. After hearing the news, I moved back up to my room and quietly fell asleep. The next day, I sat on the bus. We drove past Tommy's house, and the bus driver, unaware of Tommy's family's fate, stopped at his house. I was about to get up and explain to her what had happened. Something caught my eye. A pale hand slipped under the drapes of the window and waved the bus to move on. I sat on the bus, terrified. Okay, that is freaky. Oh my gosh. Oh, was he like a walking corpse now? Oh my gosh. Or was he imagining it at all? Who knows? Okay, next one. Marcus was alone in his bedroom when he heard footsteps coming up the stairs. He opened the door to find his wheelchair-bound sister staring back at him. If you are confused about this, wheelchair-bound sister, and basically his sister got up the stairs, walking up the stairs. Because remember, wheelchair, think about it. Try to get up the stairs with a wheelchair. Unless you got that special thing
At 6:30 a.m., a roommate
that moves you up.
sleeping.
Okay, I'm sorry for the background noise. Something freaky just happened. My TV also just unmuted. Okay, my heart's bracing. I'm kind of freaked out now. Okay, never mind. Let's get on to the next story. She didn't hesitate, dropping her 5-year-old from that bridge into the unforgiving rocks some 80 feet below. She was perfect, so is her husband. Having an ugly son is unacceptable. Her husband was devastated while she did a lot of faking. A year passed and she gave birth to another, but this time it's a beautiful baby girl. He was once again satisfied, and alas, she was too. Some 5 years later, she had to walk her daughter in that familiar bridge. Minutely later, her daughter hugged her very tightly. "What's wrong, sweetie?" she asked. Her daughter replied, a whimper, "I'm scared, so scared. I love you, Mommy. I've always loved you." "Oh, I love you too, sweetheart. But what are you afraid of?" "I'm afraid you'll drive me off this bridge again." That's just freaky. So I guess when her son died, like that son's like soul went into this like basic reincarnation, became this daughter. That's just freaky. Think about what the mother's thinking. Oh my gosh. That's so terrible that he wasn't accepted by his mother. Father, that's terrible. I can never imagine me ever doing that to my son or daughter. Okay. I begin tucking him into bed and he tells me, "Daddy, check for monsters under my bed." I look underneath for his amusement and see him under the bed staring back at me, quivering and whispering, "Daddy, there's somebody on my bed." Oh my gosh. Like, despite my love for his son, if I was in his situation, I would have ran. Like, I would have ran farther than him. No, I will leave and never look back. That would scare me so bad. Oh my gosh. Okay, next. The Girl in the Mirror is a scary story about a young boy who spends his days sad and lonely until he meets a strange little girl who only appears in the mirror. When I was a child, I spent a lot of time alone. My parents lived in an old house way out in the countryside, and there were no other children my age around. I had a little brown brother, but he was only a baby at a time, so I couldn't play with him. I was always a little lonely. The old country house where we lived had a lot of small rooms. In the corridor, there was a closet with a sliding door where my father would store his tools. I loved to go in there and play with his tool. It was fun at the time. One day, I found an old mirror at the back of the closet. It was an oval shape, and the bronze frame was very ornate. Even though it was quite old and dusty, the glass was very clear and could see myself perfectly. One time while I was playing in the closet, I happened to glance in the mirror and saw a girl in the mirror. Sorry, I think there's more to the story, but I was not able to find it. Last night, I was sitting in my living room and watching a little TV before bed. I heard a strange noise. It was slow, drawn-out scraping across the hardwood floor. Confused, I searched for the source of the sound, and I found it immediately. Someone had slipped a small folded note under the door. What the? More curious than anything, I approached the note slowly. I knelt down cautiously and picked up the strange paper. On it were only 5 words, scrawled out in a crude, messy fashion. "Get out. He is coming." I didn't pause to consider the meaning of the note. However, as I immediately realized there was something very, very wrong in the situation, the note had come under from the closet door. Oh my gosh, how do people come up with these scary stories? Seriously. This is freaky. And you know what's funny is actually, some of them are true. Like, some of them I actually haven't. Not any of the ones I have read to you have actually, true. I'm sorry if I read too fast. You can tell me in the comments if I am. I will slow down. And don't forget, you can also pause the video if you want to read more. And tell me in the comments whether you want me to do this more or if you got any suggestions. I'm not a real new to doing this, but I'm new enough where I do need a little help. So, if y'all can, please like and subscribe.